All right, ready. All right, friends and fans of UW-La Crosse, I want to welcome you to Hot Shot with Coach Angel. This is our very first episode here. And every single Friday, I'm going to bring you a new guest. But today's guest doesn't really need an introduction. I don't think so, at least. Vitaliano Figueroa, I'm so happy to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited
100%.
about today's conversation.
100%. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions here. My very first question is, so where are you from, and what got you interested in working in higher education?
Originally from Providence, Rhode Island,
Mm,
and I arrived at La Crosse in
yes,
2018.
you done.
In terms of what interests me about student
Hmm.
affairs in higher ed, I think it was definitely giving the opportunity, it's given me the opportunity to give back
Mm,
to students, help students learn and grow, and also try to help parents
yeah,
navigate the process,
absolutely.
especially for first generation parents
Hmm.
that may not have an understanding. So it's how do we try to support all students
Yeah,
and all parents?
I love hearing that. Like, as a former admissions counselor, I saw you at so many of our events, and you work so well with our students and our families to really make them feel comfortable here at our university and make them feel welcome and just to help them in general. Like, you do an excellent job here.
Oh, thank you.
Have to tell you that. Okay.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Okay, so my next question is, so how do you encourage a sense of community among students, faculty, and staff here on our campus?
Yeah. Well, I think for me, it's trying to make sure that students are involved and engaged on
Hmm.
campus. And so at UW-La Crosse, we
Hmm.
actually have a very high level of engagement. We have
That's
about
right.
over 90% of our students that are engaged in different events and activities.
Hmm.
We have a really high percentage of students that participate in the rec. Last year, we had about 3,000 students that participated in intramural sports.
Hmm.
We have over 250 clubs and organizations.
That's right.
So it's trying to help students find their sense of community,
Hmm.
that sense of belonging.
Yeah.
I think is just important. And then obviously when it comes to our faculty and our staff, it's how do we engage them as well? Because I think it's by helping them connect with our students and connect with one another, we're
Hmm.
able to create a more comprehensive community
Yeah.
where everybody sees not only UWL, but La Crosse on Alaska and
Hmm.
Wisconsin as their home.
Hmm.
And I think that definitely has helped us as an institution in terms of, making sure that there's a connection to the campus and to the community.
Awesome. I love that conversation that you're talking about, just connection. I think that's one of the biggest things that students and especially student athletes think about when they're thinking of coming to play here at UW Crosse and in college in general.
Hmm.
We That's important for us. Family is important for us. You do such an excellent job with that connection. Can you talk about a time that you actually saw something funny or something interesting while being here on campus?
I think there's always something different and new that's happening on campus.
All the time.
And I think I would say that probably one of the more interesting things is when we have Eagle Fest.
Yes.
I think it's such an interesting event
Mhm.
because it brings out so many of our students, faculty, and our staff to kind of come together in community,
Mhm.
enjoy great music, find out a bit about different departments and
Yeah.
organizations, and just start making those connections. So for our first year students that
Mhm.
are on campus,
Mhm.
it's a great opportunity for them to connect with folks.
That's
Our student athletes to come on out as
mhm.
well, and connect. I think that's always great
Mhm.
because when I can see student athletes in different spaces, it gives me a lot of pride
Yeah.
to be able to see the students in different spaces and not only seeing them in different spaces, but also in the community, because
Mhm.
I know that our student athletes volunteer a lot,
Yeah.
and so that's also something that's really interesting because we have that culture here, and so I appreciate when coaches encourage student athletes to volunteer and be a part of the campus community.
Yeah. I think that's one thing about not just our campus community, but the entire lacrosse on Alaska community. We really back our students here. They just feel comfortable and they feel like when they're here on our campus that they don't have to go home. They don't have to take their suitcases and go home every single weekend. They
Mm-mm.
enjoy being here.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just an inviting atmosphere. Okay,
yeah.
so very last question for you is like,
Sure.
what's the best piece of advice that you can give to students who are thinking about coming to UW La Crosse?
I'd say definitely take the opportunity to take a look at UWL.
Yeah.
It's an amazing institution in terms of the academics,
Mm-hmm.
but also about the campus experience, like the lived experience that you have.
Mm-hmm.
I think it doesn't have a campus that can equal it in Wisconsin. I think there's, obviously we have athletics
Mm-hmm.
on
I
campus.
do.
Our women's athletics program is amazing. Women's basketball program, go take some time, get to the game. In terms of all the different sports that we have here,
Yeah.
it there's something for everyone. You don't have to go home
Mm-hmm.
to have a good experience, and I think that's one of the things that when I've talked to students,
Mm-hmm.
they really appreciate it because there's something to do on campus. There's something to do in the community.
Yeah.
And so I would say, definitely consider it. It's a top-notch academic experience. The hands-on experience that you get here at La Crosse, it's amazing. We have our new Prairie Spring Science
That's
Center.
right.
So in terms of students that are interested in STEM,
Mm-hmm.
there's no better way to get connected in terms of not just about reading about physics and
Mm-hmm.
chemistry, but it's about doing it.
Yeah.
And that's one of
Right.
the things that we do. And we also have a lot of different opportunities for students to study abroad, broaden your horizons. And there's so much more, but I know we only have a short amount of time. But I'd say, in short,
Yeah.
take a look at La Crosse.
Mm. That's the best. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Vitaliano. So
Yeah.
this is the moment I'm gonna have to tell you to roll up your sleeves a little bit higher.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to
oh.
take you to get some shots up. You ready for that?
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's
I'm
get
ready.
into it. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.